John F. Kennedy, a Democrat from Massachusetts, was elected President of the United States on November 8, 1960, was inaugurated as the nation's 35th president on January 20, 1961, and his presidency ended on November 22, 1963, upon his assassination and death. Kennedy and his wife were younger than the presidents and first ladies who preceded them, and both were popular in the media culture in ways more common to pop singers and movie stars than politicians, influencing fashion trends and becoming the subjects of photo spreads in popular magazines. Although Eisenhower had allowed presidential press conferences to be filmed for television, Kennedy was the first president to ask for them to be broadcast live and made good use of the medium. In 1961, the Radio Television News Directors Association presented Kennedy with its highest honor, the Paul White Award, in recognition of his open relationship with the media. The Kennedys invited a range of artists, writers, and intellectuals to White House dinners, raising the profile of the arts in America. On the White House lawn, they established a swimming pool and tree house, while Caroline attended a preschool with 10 other children inside the home. Von Meter's first family comedy album, which parodied the president, the first lady, their family, and the administration, sold about 4 million copies. Despite a privileged youth, Kennedy was plagued by childhood diseases, including whooping cough, chicken pox, measles, and ear infections. These ailments compelled him to spend a considerable amount of time convalescing. 3 months prior to his 3rd birthday, in 1920, Kennedy came down with scarlet fever, a highly contagious and life-threatening disease, and was admitted to Boston City Hospital. During his years at Choate, Kennedy was beset by health problems that culminated with his emergency hospitalization in 1934 at Yale New Haven Hospital, where doctors suspected leukemia. While sick, he became a passionate reader and also a fatalist. In June 1934, he was admitted to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. The ultimate diagnosis was colitis. After withdrawing from Princeton University, Kennedy was hospitalized for observation at Peter Bent Brigham Hospital in Boston. He then spent the spring of 1936 working as a ranch hand outside Benson, Arizona under Jack Spiden. Years after Kennedy's death, it was revealed that in September 1947, when he was 30 and in his first term in Congress, he was diagnosed by Sir Daniel Davis at the London Clinic with Addison's disease. Davis estimated that Kennedy would not live for another year, while Kennedy hoped he could live for 10. In 1966, White House physician Janet Travel revealed that Kennedy also had hypothyroidism. The presence of 2 endocrine diseases raises the possibility that Kennedy had autoimmune polyendocrine syndrome type 2. Kennedy suffered from chronic severe back pain, for which he had surgery. His condition may have had diplomatic repercussions, as he appears to have been taking a combination of drugs to treat back pain during the 1961 Vienna summit. The combination included hormones, animal organ cells, steroids, vitamins, enzymes, and amphetamines, and possible side effects included hyperactivity, hypertension, impaired judgment, nervousness, and mood swings. Kennedy at one time was regularly seen by 3 doctors, one of whom, Max Jacobson, at first was unknown to the other 2, as his mode of treatment was controversial and used for the most severe bouts of back pain. Into late 1961, disagreements existed among Kennedy's doctors concerning the balance of medication and exercise. Kennedy preferred the former because he was short on time and desired immediate relief. The president's primary White House physician, George G. Berkeley, set up gym equipment in the White House basement, where Kennedy did stretching exercises thrice weekly. Details of these and other medical problems were not publicly disclosed during Kennedy's lifetime. Berkeley realized that treatments by Jacobson and Travel, including excessive use of steroids and amphetamines, were medically inappropriate, and took action to remove Kennedy from their care. In 2002, Robert Dallek wrote an extensive history of Kennedy's health based on a collection of Kennedy-associated papers from 1955 to 1963, including X-rays and prescription records from Travel. According to Travel's records, during his presidential years Kennedy suffered from high fevers, stomach, colon, and prostate issues, abscesses, high cholesterol, and adrenal problems. Travel kept a medicine administration record, cataloging Kennedy's medications. Injected and ingested corticosteroids for his adrenal insufficiency, procaine shots and ultrasound treatments and hot packs for his back, Lamitil, Metamucil, paregoric, phenobarbital, testosterone, and trazentine to control his diarrhea, abdominal discomfort, and weight loss, penicillin and other antibiotics for his urinary tract infections and an abscess, and Tuinal to help him sleep. Kennedy was single in the 1940s while having relationships with Danish journalist Inga Arvad and actress Jean Tierney. During his time as a senator, he had an affair with Gunilla von Post, who later wrote that the future president tried to end his marriage to be with her before having any children with his wife. Kennedy was also reported to have had affairs with Marilyn Monroe, Judith Campbell, Mary Pinchot Meyer, Marlene Dietrich, White House intern Mimi Alford, and his wife's press secretary, Pamela Turnure. There have been several conspiracy theories surrounding the deaths of Monroe and Meyer, alleging that Kennedy may have had a part in their deaths. The full extent of Kennedy's relationship with Monroe, who in 1962 famously sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" at Kennedy's birthday celebration at Madison Square Garden, is not known, though it has been reported that they spent a weekend together in March 1962 while he was staying at Bing Crosby's house. Furthermore, people at the White House switchboard noted that Monroe had called Kennedy during 1962. J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI director, received reports about Kennedy's indiscretions. These included an alleged tryst with an East German spy, Ellen Romech. According to historian Michael Beschloss, in July 1963, Hoover reportedly informed Robert Kennedy about the affair with a woman suspected as a Soviet intelligence agent, someone linked to East German intelligence. Robert reportedly took the matter sufficiently seriously to raise it with leading Democratic and Republican figures in Congress. Former Secret Service agent Larry Newman recalled morale problems that the president's indiscretions engendered within the Secret Service. Kennedy inspired affection and loyalty from the members of his team and his supporters. According to Reeves, this included the logistics of Kennedy's liaisons, which required secrecy and devotion rare in the annals of the energetic service demanded by successful politicians. Kennedy believed that his friendly relationship with members of the press would help protect him from public revelations about his sex life. Kennedy was a fan of Major League Baseball's Boston Red Sox and the National Basketball Association's Boston Celtics. Growing up on Cape Cod, Kennedy and his siblings developed a lifelong passion for sailing. He also took up golf, playing regularly at the Hyannisport Club in Massachusetts and the Palm Beach Country Club in Florida. Kennedy was the first Catholic elected to the presidency. During his childhood, he attended St. Aidan's Church in Brookline, Massachusetts, where he was baptized on June 19, 1917. Historical evaluations and legacy. Historians and political scientists tend to rank Kennedy as an above-average president, and he is usually the highest-ranking president who served less than one full term. A 2014 survey from the Washington Post of 162 members of the American Political Science Association's Presidents and Executive Politics section ranked Kennedy 14th highest overall among the 43 persons who have been president, including then-President Barack Obama. The survey found Kennedy to be the most overrated U.S. president. A 2017 C-SPAN survey has Kennedy ranked among the top 10 presidents. A 2023 Gallup Incorporated survey showed Kennedy with a retrospective approval rating of 90%, the highest of all U.S. presidents in recent history. Assessments of his policies are mixed. Many of Kennedy's legislative proposals were passed after his death, during the Johnson administration, and Kennedy's death gave those proposals a powerful moral component. Kennedy came in third, behind Martin Luther King Jr. and Mother Teresa, in Gallup's list of widely admired people of the 20th century. In 1961, he was awarded the Laetier Medal by the University of Notre Dame, considered the most prestigious award for American Catholics. He was posthumously awarded the Pacem in Terris Award, Latin, Peace on Earth, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The term Camelot is often used to describe his presidency, reflecting both the mythic grandeur accorded Kennedy in death and powerful nostalgia for that era of American history. According to Richard Dean Burns and Joseph M. Siracusa, the most popular theme surrounding Kennedy's legacy is its replay of the legend of King Arthur and Camelot from Arthurian literature. In an interview following Kennedy's death, his widow Jacqueline mentioned his affection for the Broadway musical Camelot and quoted its closing lines, "Don't let it be forgot, that once there was a spot, for one brief, shining moment that was known as Camelot." Critics, especially historians, have mocked the Camelot myth as a distortion of Kennedy's actions, beliefs, and policies. However, in the public memory, the years of Kennedy's presidency are still seen as a brief, brilliant, and shining moment. Memorials and eponyms. Examples of the extensive list include: Idlewild Airport in Queens, New York City, renamed John F. Kennedy International Airport on December 24, 1963. NASA Launch Operations Center in Merritt Island, Florida, named the John F. Kennedy Space Center on November 29, 1963. USS John F. Kennedy, CV-67, U.S. Navy aircraft carrier ordered in April 1964, launched May 1967, decommissioned August 2007, nicknamed Big John. Kennedy $50, first minted in 1964. John F. Kennedy School of Government, part of Harvard University, renamed in 1966. John F. Kennedy Federal Building in the Government Center section of Boston, opened in 1966. John Fitzgerald Kennedy Memorial, opened in 1970 in Dallas. National Cultural Center was named John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in 1964, opened in 1971 in Washington, D.C. John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum on Columbia Point in Boston, opened in 1979. Statue of John F. Kennedy by Isabel McIlvaine on the grounds of the Massachusetts State House in Boston, dedicated on May 29, 1990. Thank you for watching this video.